This is the plaintiff, George Dewey. He says he purchased a two-bedroom house that the defendant was renting at the time he purchased it. It became quite clear she wasn't going to pay the rent or the utilities, so he began eviction proceedings to get her out. The woman still owes him for back rent, unpaid gas and electric, and his dream home has turned into a nightmare because of all the problems the defendant has caused. He's suing for $3,551.19 for all he was owed. This is the defendant, Carol O'Connell. She says she can't believe the plaintiff suing her for eviction proceedings because she was leaving anyway once she found out he bought the place. He's also trying to sue her for rent when he wasn't even her landlord. She never had any agreement with him and certainly doesn't owe him a penny. She's accused of squatting.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff bought a house that the defendant was renting. The defendant wouldn't get out, and the plaintiff had to take the defendant to court to do the job. Now, she says the guy's not her landlord, so pound sand. It's the case of squatter. He hardly knew her.
Okay, George Dewey?
Yes.
You are suing Carol O'Connell for $3,551.19. You say she owes in utilities, legal fees, and rent for breaching her rental agreement with you. Tell me what's going on.
I purchased a small house in February of 2012, Your Honor. We were told by the realtor that sold us the house that Carol was current with her rental agreement with the past landlord. So I agreed to let her stay on at the same amount of money.
You found out later that wasn't true?
Yes, I did find that out, yes.
This is a beach house?
Yes,
Beach
correct.
cottage?
Yes.
Right on the beach?
Yes.
Okay. So March 1 comes, and do you get the rent check?
No.
All right. And then what happens?
When I went to the walkthrough on the sale of the property, I found her car in the driveway, window open in the house, front door open. I panicked. The first thing I thought about was possibly the heat is off, the pipes are freezing. So I went into the house to check to see if the thermostat was on, and when I got in the house, I just found a total dysfunction.
Okay, as in?
Rotten food all over the floors, mice, rats, clogged toilet. I found a lot of pill bottles, vodka bottles.
Empty?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so March passes, you don't get rent for March.
Right.
But the prior owner had given you last month and security, correct? He
Yes,
transferred
correct.
that over to you.
Correct.
All right, so last month would cover March, right?
Right.
Now April comes, and she does not pay April 1st rent.
Correct.
Okay,
Right.
so technically she's in default certainly from that moment. When you say you panicked about the utilities, when you went in the house, the thermostat was the heat on or no?
Heat was on and just going out the window.
All right.
Yeah.
So what did you do regarding the utilities at that point?
The next day, I think I called the propane company. They said the account was in arrears, $763, I believe.
Did you pay that?
Yes, I did.
Did you call the other utilities, water and electric?
Yes, I did. I found out they were not current either, so I had them all converted into my name out of fear of, the house freezing or being sued by somebody because somebody turned their heat off.
Okay.
This was a new experience for me.
Yes, you're new at this. I know. You're definitely new at this.
And there's no fool like an old fool, they
Okay.
say.
All right. So please hand my bailiff all of the receipts for the utilities that you paid. You're then suing for rent. You've applied the security deposit to April, and you're suing for rent in May because she never came back, right?
No, I heard that she was down in Florida back in some type of a
Okay,
place
so
before the
who
summer.
moved all her stuff? A house full of stuff. Who moved it?
I moved it from the inside of she had rented a pod and put it in the next door neighbor's yard. I have a picture of, the pod and some dates on it.
May I see that?
Yes, you may.
Okay, Ms. O'Connell, what's going on?
I rented the house and I paid my rent. I even paid March rent. I have a
Okay,
copy.
can you show me proof of that? Who'd you pay March rent to?
Anna. I paid all of my utilities. The house was not a mess at all.
Okay, can you show me proof you paid your utilities? Because I see proof he paid your utilities.
I paid them.
Okay,
I paid
now
them too.
prove to me that you paid them, because I'm seeing the bill where you didn't pay them, and I'm seeing his cashed check where he paid them. So you can't just say you paid them and move on.
I didn't have a lease with him. I had a lease with him, and I paid him right up to the end.
I'm sorry. You knew the house had been sold.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Prove to me you paid March rent in March.
It's
You got to be kidding me. Just because you wrote it in somewhere on a piece of paper, that's not proof. I want to see the canceled check. Where
I
is
don't
it?
have the canceled check.
Okay,
I
so
have
prove
that.
to me that you actually paid your bills, because I am seeing the exact opposite of what you're saying. I am seeing that you have a bill, that you don't pay it. I see the gas bill, I see the electric bill, and I see the water bill weren't paid for a period of time, and then I see his canceled check paying the bill. So if you paid the bill, I need to see proof.
All right. Well, I didn't know he bought the house. I was away in February.
Okay.
I had no.
Who are these nice ladies right here?
One's my sister and one's my friend.
Sister, come on up.
Okay, so I own a house, I sell it to you, but she's a tenant when you buy it. Are you automatically her landlord?
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely her.
Oh, no, don't look at her that way, dude. Jeez. Oh, my God. You know what? We got to take a break. Calm down. Going inside the courtroom.
What was going on then? And
She was in a treatment center from February, most of March, April. She had
were
a
you in
lease-
communication with her?
No, you can't. Not all the time.
What kind of substance abuse, my dear?
Alcohol and depression.
Okay. How long were you in a treatment center?
I was in for most of the middle of February to the middle of March, and then I went back at the end of March till July.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Fine, fine?
Yeah, doing really good.
Okay, that's good. But what are we going to do about your bills?
But the thing
When you
is,
say you had a lease with the other guy, that's fine. But
I
you know,
never
unless
signed-
you're going to prove to me, even if you were to prove to me that you paid that other guy March, April, May, you know, I'd have to see it to even give you advice about how you should sue that crook for accepting rent that he didn't deserve. But I'm not buying that, because your sister knows February 10th that he notified her, I bought the house, I can't reach your sister.
But I
Which
was still
all makes
paying-
sense, because you were in rehab and she couldn't reach you.
Well, I talked to her, but all the bills were in her name, and she had paid all the bills. The water bill.
You can't just keep repeating yourself.
The water
it
bill-
doesn't make it so that you repeat yourself. Show me proof that you paid any bills in February, March, or April.
She didn't, because he put it in his name. How could she pay his bills?
Oh, so it's not that you paid your bills, it's that he paid your bills, and you don't feel that you have to pay them because they were in his
I
name.
didn't have a lease with him. I've never signed one thing with him.
When did you finally get your stuff out of there?
By the end of April.
Okay, can you prove that you got your stuff out of there by the end of April?
My sisters moved everything out. Everything.
Just show
was
me
out
the
of
pod
house.
that you rented. Show me the paperwork for the pod. Okay, because he says it's May, and that's relevant because he's suing you for May rent.
We don't have it.
Okay, what do you want me to do? He's got proof that he paid the bills. You're responsible for utility bills for that place until your lease ended when? April 30th or May 30th?
I just
All
didn't.
this stuff was
hold
up
on.
by April 29th, Your Honor. And
Here's your
I had
lease.
called-
And the lease
I had
says,
called Mr.
just a
Dewey
moment,
and told
ma'am.
him.
Here's your lease, May 30th. You have a lease until May 30th.
Your Honor, we really aren't arguing about the utilities. It's about the fact that, you know, she wasn't there. She was in and out.
Okay, folks, I understand that you have problems, but there is none so blind as she who will not see. Okay, and you know, I see the legal bills for the eviction because you can't just wait forever for rent to be paid. You know, technically speaking, she's supposed to be paying March rent. She doesn't pay it because, okay, well, he can take the last month's rent and think that's the last month. But you know, last month was May. I mean, come on, guys. I understand that you have problems, but you're going to turn around and stiff him over them?
I didn't stiff him.
Ms. O'Connell, I am I'm happy for you. If in fact you have this time in your life and these months that you took have put you on a better course and have healed you. But also, you know, there's ancillary costs to being an addict. You You can't expect that you're going to abandon your apartment, not have communication, not speak to the landlord you know has now taken over, not pay March, not pay April, get out whenever, come to court completely proofless, even though you have total power to get the proof, like the checks that you claim you paid for rent, or the checks that you claim you paid for utilities that weren't back due. You could do all that, but you didn't. And I don't think that you didn't because you're not sober now. I think that you didn't because it doesn't exist. This is one of the costs of being an addict. Another cost of being an addict is the pain and heartache that you cause your sister, who loves you and ends up getting dragged into things in order to help you. I hope that you are grateful and that you show your gratitude to your sister then, now, and forever. I wish you the best, but you got to pay your bill. $3,551.19. Verdict for the plaintiff.
And with that ruling against them, the defendant leaves the courtroom. Step on in here and tell me what's the feeling on the outcome here. You guys stand right next to her.
I feel that he lied.
All right. Well, the proof is not there. You know, the word is one thing and the proof is something else. But what lessons have you learned out of all this?
Bring documentation.
Right. Bring evidence to court. That's a good one. Anything else?
People lie.
That's what you've learned? People lie? All right. How's everything going in your life now?
Good.
All right. Good luck. All right. So you step in here and tell me, what was this like dealing with them as tenants? Right around this way. Okay, go.
Diplomatically, living hell. Mm-hmm. One of the most excruciating experiences of my life, in spite of the fact I was trying to do the right thing for everybody all along and didn't even get a thank you in the end. Very disappointing.
Okay, let's go to Harvey. You know, you cannot assume that the place you're renting, if somebody buys that place, that you automatically get a free ride. You don't. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.